Thank you. Here, back in the shop. As you can see in the bucket, a couple of pieces of wood. I've already started on this thing. I nipped off that, and that, and that, and that. I'm gonna make it pretty, turn it into a lamp. I've got lamp parts here from B&P Lamp Supply Inc. online. And it gives me all the fasteners and adapters and lamp holders and so on and so forth. I've also got some extensions and a really, really long spade bit to let me drill from the bottom to the top or top to the bottom, whatever. This bugger has been ate up by bugs. You can see all these holes, like this guy, and all these, this one and this one. I don't know, they're all over the place up on top here. So before I go crazy with this, I am going to throw it in my oven. We'll call that a kiln, which is 3/4 of the reason why people kiln. Oh, look, a piece of wood. Why people kiln wood before it goes into your house. Not only to dry it, but to kill the bugs off in the wood. Because there is a surprising amount of bugs that live inside of wood. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's what I got going on. And yeah, I'm just, right now, I guess I took Sawzall up there in that giant mess and cut those off. I run my angle grinder with that same sandpaper I was using last week to kind of smooth it down a little bit and take off the big edges. And I'm just using a little orbital sander to clean it up, make it a little smoother. I still got a ton of work to do. There's a bunch of swirls and all that jazz. All these hard edges and stuff, I'd like to kind of clean up. I'm not sure. I might keep it rough, but this bugger has got a ton of character in it, so if I just went from all that to nothing, or super smooth, I don't know, maybe the contrast will look good. We'll see. Anyways, I will be back in a bit with 80 grit, and got my lines a lot smoother. It's a little better. I'm going to finish it off with some 120 here. I even sanded the back. I don't know, just in case. And I even sanded some on the bottom. I noticed we've been collecting moisture. This is actually kind of moist right now. So before I go too far on this booger, I may have to let her dry out a little more. It's been sitting for 2 years, but apparently that's not long enough. Alright, I'm going to hit it with some 120 and hang this bugger up somewhere so she can dry up. Got her smoothed out pretty darn good. All these little holes and stuff I'm going to vacuum and hit with a toothbrush, doing this thing. Try and get as much of that junk out of those holes as I can, because I think they kind of look cool personally. Anyways, there's a whole slew of them, so I'm gonna clean this whole bugger off and get it all vacuumed off and get all the little dust particles and whatever off of it, and clean it all up, get my hole drilled in the top, and yeah, I think it's starting to look really darn good. With that 220, I did hit it with 220 grit sandpaper, 180 and 220. I hand sanded the 220. I rounded off all of the little edges and stuff, and I don't know, I kind of like the look of that versus hard lines on this one at least. So yeah, I'll get her all cleaned up here. Curious? Don't use these as a replacement for cigarettes. They're just as addictive. Anyways, I have been sitting here picking away at this here deal. I've been using the toothbrush and the vacuum cleaner I got it set up to blow instead of suck. No pun intended. I don't know. Anyways, I got all these crazy little holes. That was a lot of bugs. A whole lot of bugs. And there's holes all over the place. All these little lines are where bugs are crawling up underneath the bark. All these little things. I mean, it's just nuts. They're freaking everywhere. They're all over this darn thing. On the top, or I guess this is inverted, that's actually the bottom of the root system, and that's where the tree would have come out of the ground. So it's upside down, so it's all in your perspective. But from all the way up at the top to, I mean, down as low as I can go, there is just holes everywhere in this bugger. The more I clean on it, the more I find. It is nuts. But, all bugs aside, all holes aside, I think it is a darn cool looking piece. So, I'm going to go take this inside to my professional kiln that I got. And I will do that now. I took it out of my professional kiln. Yeah, oven on my stove, whatever. I had two hands-on tools and no hands on a camera, and I was so excited about the way it was looking that I didn't do a bunch of recording. So, I just realized a minute ago that I wasn't recording. Anyways, this has got 2 coats on it. I did not stain this. It's got 2 coats of just lacquer. It's still kind of flat, but you can see in spots it's shiny-ish. I did get a bunch of it cleaned out. I did put in this lamp adapter. I drilled a hole underneath it there. You can kind of see the threads, and it goes through the whole deal. And yeah, geez Louise, holy cow. Out the bottom, I'm going to put a little fitting on the bottom there so it's nice and pretty. I lacquered the bottom and the back just to kind of seal it up and make it a little better. But that's as far as I'm going to get on that right now. I'm moving down to a new shop, so I'm going to be doing that for the next few days, and I'm going to start on that table. For now, we're going to curb this, and I'll come back to it as soon as I get more stuff set up down at the other shop, because this shop now is just full of crap. So I'm going to move a bunch of this down there, get that stuff organized, and start on that table. And then after I get done with that table, I'll come back to this and we can make the lamp. Alrighty. Until next time, I'll see you guys in the new shop.